Are you ready for this? I'm not sure I am, but let's give it a try. Hey, it's Amy. Welcome back to Hummingbird Hill, and like I said, it has been more than a minute since we have actually taken a look at all of the projects and things that we've talked about so far this spring. Oh my gosh, there is a cat. Oh, ouch, my foot. Hold on just a second, and you'll see that I'm wearing my work flip-flops. Oh, cat, ouch. Do you see this? That is my toe. That hurts. Hopefully you can see the cat. Okay, beast, that's painful. God, ouch. Are you serious? I mean, ow, really. It just got a little windy, so we'll see how this goes. But as I was saying, it's been more than a minute since we have taken a look at everything that we've talked about so far this spring and just kind of giving you an update on all of the work that we've been doing or trying to do or trying to keep up with. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start up here behind the house. We're going to take a look at the Weedy Hill and what's going on over there, and then we'll make our way down to the garden. And if this all takes too long, I'll probably split it into two parts. I'm going to try and go quick, but you know that I can talk just a little bit. And there might be something to talk about. I don't know. There's stuff and things, and we've been working on stuff, and there's projects, and who knows. So I'm going to try and keep it brief, at least on the upper part, and then spend a little more time in the garden. But if it gets too long, I'll split it into two parts, and I'll put a link somewhere, if I remember, to part 2, because this will be part 1, because obviously it's where I'm talking first. Or I'll just put like a timestamp somewhere, so if you don't really care about the projects going on behind the house and on the Weedy Hill, you can just skip forward to the garden section of the whole update. I guess it's a tour? Yeah, it's a tour. Oh my gosh, the cat has switched my other foot. It's a good thing she is cute. Hold on, look at her. You see what I have to put up with? Oh, this cat is just terrible. Just terrible. Sweet Tater, yeah, thank you for not totally clawing the dress. These are not my work pants. No. Oh, okay. Ouch. Yes, yes, you're just awful. Ouch. Okay. There you go. Alright. The cats will, of course, be accompanying us, as they do at all times. We're going to start behind the house, and it's actually sunny on this end. That's why I'm in front of the house right now instead of back there, because that would have been easier. I'm going to flip you around, and we'll go take a look at... Oh, I need a headband, I think. But I'm just going to go with it, because my hair is already down. As you can see, I'm not dressed for... Okay. Ah! Oh. Okay. That's just... Oh, terrible. Okay. How many times can I say okay in one sentence? Probably more than that, because ew and ouch. And I don't know about you, but hair in my mouth just grosses me out. Oh, the cats are going to kerfuffle, by the way. Yeah, Sweet Tater Tot's in charge, but the other cats aren't too fond of that. Harley's going to slink off over there. She's getting a little matty. She's an old lady, I think. She was left behind when we got the place, so I'm not sure exactly of her particulars. All right. We're going to start behind the house. Let me flip you around for real this time. Hold on. Nothing but trouble. Alright, so we're kind of back here, and it's going to be super bright, so I don't know if you'll be able to see on this end. But, as I said, this house is a manufactured home, and when we bought the place, it basically, the whole place smelled like cat urine. It was disgusting. And the plan was eventually to tear it down and replace it with a stick house, because that'll increase the property value, but with Mom's illness, we decided not to do that. So we had left all this area to kind of just settle into whatever it was doing, because we figured we were going to tear it all out. So we didn't do a lot of work here. So we've been working on clearing it out, and I planted some pumpkins to hopefully kind of spread out and control weeds, but the weeds are just insane. So I'm using the old cardboard mulch method, because I can get the cardboard for free, and I haven't been able to get any wood chips lately for free at all. I've been trying for about a year, so hopefully I'll get some wood chips and be able to put them on here. I can't afford to like bring in as much bark as I would need to cover this whole back section, just for some weed control. So just kind of, we did a whole big clear out of a bunch of weeds here. I think I'm gonna get rid of that. There's a sprout tree right there, and I don't really want a maple here, I don't think. Still have some more cleaning out to do here. But the pumpkins, I'm hoping will spread. So far the chickens have been leaving the pumpkins in the circles alone, which is awesome because they like to kill everything else. And the neighbors' horses are visiting. Look at them. We don't usually come up here and talk to these two. So this area we're working on cleaning out. I still need to paint the pump house and the dog run. You'll see. Totally forgot to paint those last fall. We had to do so much work. We had to Tyvek and put new siding on the back of the house just to get it slightly more airtight. So yeah, I just didn't get to the other painting. That's my Uncle Phil down here. He's helping clean stuff up, but I'm not sure he wants to be on camera. So I'm just going to show you his butt. Okay. These cannas I love. I need to split them, obviously, and separate them. I'm not sure why they're just kind of in the middle, but they've been here since we moved in. This hosta I moved from the front flower bed. The chickens were murdering it because they love everything. Unfortunately, one of the pumpkins that was here got weeded, which was fine because I can plant some more, and I still have 5 or 6. There's another fancy grass. I like grasses a lot. I planted, well, Phil actually helped me plant so many grasses back here, and a couple more of my favorite kind of grass. Again, I need to get some more cardboard to cover this up. Sorry about the air conditioning, it's loud. We took along the back of the house here were a whole bunch of sprinklers, but we had really hard water, and so you can see at the bottom there, they were starting to make the new paint already brown. And we don't really need to sprinkle back here. We don't have that many plants. I haven't figured out what I want to do. This was all torn up because of replacing the siding last year. So we just took and ran some drip down to plants that we want so it doesn't encourage weeds. This whole area has water. I just put some grasses in. I need to split those. Those are like the fire poker plants. I've got 2 giant clumps that need split. I didn't get to it this fall. I have resorted up here to, this is a strawberry patch. And I have these little tiny metal fences. I got these at Habitat for Humanity for like $5 for a whole huge pile. And I had them protecting my strawberries downstairs. And I've been using them, and the chickens actually leave the stuff alone. So these strawberries are new. I grew them from seed. Those are Alexandria from Baker Creek. These pumpkins the chickens got twice, so I got, you can see my lovely Halloween decor. I got that for $1, and you'll see the other one I got at a garage sale. So those are helping keep the chickens out, which is lovely. And then they pretty much left this pumpkin alone. I don't know, we got more cardboard, and I'm wearing my slippery thongs, so they'll be good. You can see also my other lovely decor. This pumpkin is getting a little bit of slug stuff going on, so I'm probably going to bring a beer trap out for it because I don't want to use like Sluggo, even though that's for organic gardening, just because the chickens, if it's little white things, they're going to try and eat it, and I'm not sure how they'll do with Sluggo. It says it's safe for pets, but I'm not sure if it's safe for chickens. The chickens have redecorated. This was all clear and beautiful and looks so good with the bark chips around the edge. Yeah, but this is all chicken damage. And then we had a giant windstorm, so they're huge trees that have branches that were knocked down. So this all needs swept up again, but it's looking really good around the edge. I planted this and it looks so pretty. I like it. Ooh, I went to a yard sale yesterday, and this whole tray of, I think those are fuchsias. Yeah, I'm gonna say they're fuchsias. $5. So excited. And here's the Weedy Hill, and as you can see, it is super weedy. This whole upper section, I wasn't really planning on doing things with because I don't know exactly what to do with it. There is a, yeah, this, hold on just a second. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a 2-part video. Definitely. Alright, so there's a water feature here. This was a like river bed, and down there's a reservoir, and so there's a pump. Probably doesn't work. It's been about, I think, 8 to 10 years since it's worked or tried, and it's all filled in with debris and such. We had to cover that with boards because whenever Basil Bell came out, she would go straight in and have us swim in there. She's a lab, she's a water dog. So this whole area, I don't mind these grasses. They're really cute and tufty, so they're better than the, oh my gosh, I swear I just came through and trimmed all the blackberries yesterday. I obviously missed some. But I've just been going around with clippers and cutting off blackberries whenever I see them. So this whole section here, let's see, we'll go around. It's hard to get to. I am wearing my work flip-flops. As you can see, they have paint from last year on them, but they're super slippery, so they're not really good for climbing on the hill. I'm going to take you around down to the bottom. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So there's some plants. I don't know what this pretty thing is. I'm pretty sure it's a weed, but it's really nice. And I did come through here and put a whole bunch of sunflower seeds just willy-nilly this spring, and I only see one of them coming up. Let's see. This is, I think, a rose of Sharon. There's a tricolored dogwood, and right behind the tricolored dogwood, oh, where is it? Yeah, there. There's a little right there. Just a little sunflower, it looks like, coming up, and I haven't seen any more. And they could have been weed whacked because these things happen. So, oh my gosh. Okay, you have to look at this. This is so pretty. The school that I donated all those seeds to and such was having a fundraiser for plants, and so I ordered 2 pots, and they gave me the wrong ones. I wanted kind of urns, but this one's gorgeous, so I can't really say that I mind. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know what half the plants are. Probably says in there somewhere, but I love that. It's doing great up here. Oh, and I missed another blackberry. It was masquerading as my hellebore. Oh, all right. Oh, sedum. So I didn't know this year when I was pulling up the sedum, I accidentally pulled up a chunk of it, and I didn't know that sedum would root so easily, but I was like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. So I took it and I put it in the ground. Slightly, I thought it was, the chickens have rearranged it, but look at it. This is just one of the little stalks from that sedum that broke off, and it is now growing beautifully here. The chickens moved it because I think it was over here, closer to this area where it would be better, not so close to my, look at that weed, I gotta get that too. Not so close to my rose of Sharon, which I just planted last fall, but still, that's okay. And there are some carnations that I grew from seed that I finally put in the ground. I was hoping they'd get a little bigger, but they haven't, so we'll see what they do out here. And the chickens haven't murdered these yet, and if they do, oh well. This whole area needs weed whacked. This area, see, I had to bring up some little fencing here finally. The chickens, I had a whole bunch of snapdragons that were just gorgeous here, and the chickens murdered all of them but one before I realized what they were doing. So, and they spread all of that bark dust down there, was in this area right around the tree, and the chickens have rearranged for me. So I've got to take that and sweep it back in here, because the whole point of having the weed cover is not to have organic matter on top where weeds can grow. And I have some spots where the chickens have made it very easy for weeds to grow. Oh, there's another. So these are the bulbs that I discovered under the tarp and cleared up. Lots of them, look at how much there are. Of course, there's still grasses. And then behind it in that little silver, like, octagon, what is that? 6 sides. It's not an octagon, that's 8 sides. Anyway, there are more strawberries that I started from seeds. I thought those were bulbs, but those just turned out to be grass. I was wrong. But it made a great spot to start some more strawberries, because again, eventually I can spread the strawberries out and split them around. Oh, so here you can see I'm starting to bring up some more hay to be some weed control here. I've got some bales out here that these are from 2 years ago. They're the last that we had left over when we hayed this year. So pulled those out and had them down in the lower barn, but then I brought them up to the hill to just let them get a little bit baked even more before I spread them out as weeds. Letting them get wet and soggy like this is kind of how I spread everything out. It was raining and those sprinklers, etc., helps the chickens not spread the hay around so much, so it actually lasts a lot longer. Yeah, so there we go. Oh, my favorite grass. Look at how pretty it's looking. I trimmed a whole bunch of blackberries out of it, and there's still more to go. I got those pots for $5 at a yard sale on Saturday. Oh, okay. This grass I talk a little bit about, but look at how gorgeous it is and floofy, and it's so pretty. Let me just take you in there a little bit. Look at how gorgeous it is. And I didn't trim that back this year, and I think it would look better if I had trimmed it back, but I didn't. These are the strawberries here that I transplanted from the strawberry stump downstairs. These, oh gosh, they're growing up. I need to take those suckers and put them somewhere, those little runners, and put them in the ground somewhere. Give them a place, because they cannot root on top of the weed barrier. But these are doing really well. Those are the strawberries that I moved from my parents' house. And I probably had those, we've had that patch growing at my parents' house since I was about 12. So this is looking pretty good. And ideally I would have taken, just like with the back, I would have taken and wiped a whole slate clean, got it all level and beautiful. Then implemented some serious weed control, keeping it covered for 2 to 3 years. But we had so much planted here already and stuff I didn't even know, because I'm just starting to kind of dig into this upper area, that I didn't want to kill off stuff I didn't know about. So just making do with the not so attractive weed barrier. And yes, I just came through and I pulled up so many 2 foot tall, super spiky dandelion things. Yeah, they look like this, but now they're all here and I need to come and clean them all up. Yeah, so I had to wear industrial gloves, and actually I have a clip about that from yesterday, so I'll probably just insert it here so I just don't repeat what I said then. And I forgot to say that the only gloves that I could find that will not get me super poked by all the thistle, and the lawnmower, and the blackberries are insulated winter gloves, and so, oh my gosh, I am sweating so much. I thought you needed to know that. Yeah, these were brand new, no longer, but at least I haven't gotten poked yet. Wish me luck again. This is definitely going to be longer of a video because I'm talking and there's so much to talk about. I have to be careful walking down the hill. Hold on, let me flip you around. Okay, I have to be careful walking down the hill because I've had my work flip-flops for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years, and they have no traction, and I've literally fallen on my behind in them like 5 or 6 times, but they're so comfy that I just keep wearing them. Not so bright, but it works, right? All right, yeah, let's keep going down and look at the hill. Such as it is. Actually, parts of it are going great. Okay, so let me get on the grass so it's a little easier to walk and talk to you. So, we took this part, we took and cleared out this whole area by the dog run. Has been a huge problem with weeds and then ground hornets. So we did a big old weed whack, put down lots, like the really good weed barrier, and then brought in some gravel, and it's so much better. Love it. Of course the weeds are still growing up along the whole sides, but it's much nicer and we can just weed whack those pretty easily. So okay, we're gonna get in the sun now, so I don't know if you can see or I can see, but we'll do our best. This weed whacking is this week's job. It's kind of always a job, but there are certain things that are more important. We've gotten the fields. Let's see, Papa got the field mowed. He was very industrious and is very pleased with himself. But we had thistle grows out there, so that's a big problem. So he got it mowed and it's really awesome. Hold on. Pardon me, I'll probably edit that. Oh no, who am I kidding? I'm not gonna edit that much because that takes time and I'm so not good with the editing yet. It is so pretty out right now. All right, so coming down the hill, this is, I'm gonna flip you around because it's easier and then I can see what you're seeing, so I don't randomly show you like the top of my head or my toes while I'm trying to show you plants. Okay, so this is the side of the hill that I just added hay and cardboard to this spring. And except for places where I thought that there were some perennials, oh look, there's a pretty bee. Can you see him? Look at that pretty baby. Hi there, bee. Are you a bumblebee bee? I don't know what kind you are. Anyway, so the hot lip salvia, again, one of the plants said it was annual, 2 said it was perennial, and I just planted them all and they're coming back. I should have probably trimmed it back, but I don't know. So I just added the cardboard and the hay this spring, and if you didn't watch that video, I'll put a link. It wasn't that exciting, but I've got some echinacea going right back here. Sadly, I had some penstemon, some really cool like firecracker grass that I thought was perennial that is not. So I kind of need to move that. And these bulbs, let's see, right there. Those are coming up through the cardboard beautifully. That's not grass, those are actually bulbs, which is great. There were a couple places where I had thought that there were plants that were coming back that didn't, so there are open holes a little bit, and the chickens, of course, rearrange everything. But there are also potatoes planted in here, and some of them are coming up beautifully, and then some of them the chickens keep burying, which is fine because they need buried so they don't get sunlight. So let's see, can you see that right there? There's a potato. And these are purple potatoes. There's some down here. There are stumps in here that have perennials in them that are getting overgrown right now. I have not trimmed this section yet. I haven't come to weed yet. My fig tree, let's see, where's it at? Oh, there. Hi. There we are. Found it. My fig tree that I thought, well, it dropped all its leaves when I transplanted it, and I was so worried about it, but it is coming back beautifully. It's right there, and I'm super excited, and the chickens haven't killed it off. And I just need to come in and pull some grasses around places. And there are more potatoes growing out here, but again, the chickens rearrange things. So there's another batch right there behind the fig tree. There's some more down in this area, and then there's some more over here. But the chickens have recently, again, been rearranging because they like to help. I need to take my grapevine and get the second, I left a set of cordons down there. Is that cordons? I can't remember now. The big branches. Anyway, I left a set of the vines down at the bottom to train and make it really long here. And this one I need to tie back up. So this will be a 2-tier system, which I haven't tried before with the grapes. So I'm excited about that. As you can see though, it does need weed-a-whacked or weeded around. Let's see, let's try not to fall. So just some little, these are the prettiest little plants. I don't know exactly what they are, but they're really pretty. And that one has a giant weed growing in the middle. Oh, that's a potato. That one has a giant weed growing in the middle that I need to trim, but I'll get it. And this, things are doing well. Oh, we did have a loss here. I had a cute little blueberry bush right there that was so laden with blueberries, kind of like that one. And unfortunately, my papa, the mad weed whacker, another fruit bush, bit the dust. It may sprout and come back, but I have my doubts. So we'll see. I love these snapdragons. Oh my gosh, they're so gorgeous. I want like a whole field of these and I would be so happy. And they just keep coming back. Let's see. So one step and kill myself. Here we go. This is thistle, I believe. And unfortunately, this is a kind of thistle that I think I actually planted. It was in some of the wild flower seeds that I planted, and the bees love it, so I can't be mad at it. And so I've just left it because look at that happy little bee butt. There he is. Can you see him? There he is, and they're all over it. So I'm leaving this. There is unfortunately a big giant pokey weed behind it that I need to get in there and get, but not while the weed's around. So there are some flowers in here. Need cleaned out. This tub of, these are golden raspberries the neighbor gave us, and we just never got them cleaned out of here because we didn't have a place to put them. Now that the hill's kind of becoming our fruit section, I need to fix those. So this is a plum tree right here. I don't know if there are any plums on it. I haven't really looked at that one, and I'm not walking up there in these shoes because I will fall on my behind and then I will break you, and that will be sad. This section I have not gotten to trim at all. I was working on the other side of the hill. So definitely some weeds and sections that are not covered. The black plastic is starting to break down and it's getting moved around by the chickens and whoever else is walking up and down the hill like me. So I'm thinking I need to pull it all and maybe put some weed barrier fabric, the good stuff that won't be as slippery, because this stuff is just super slippery and it's only held down by rocks and, you know, big cement blocks in places and pieces of board. So it's really not sturdy and it's not a long-term option. This is gorgeous. This is a golden raspberry bush here. And oh look, the hornets down there like that. And let's see, can you see there are some lovely, I need to get out here and pick some fruit. And I'm not going to walk too far up on the hill just because I have my slippery flip-flops on. So this is beautiful and is growing amazingly and is kind of in a weird spot. And then back there, I thought this was also a bush raspberry, but it is not. It's going from like right there all the way down here. They're raspberry canes. And then, let's see, all the way over there, there are raspberry canes. And I put it because I thought it was a bush. I thought it was the same variety as this, and apparently not, because these are golden and those are red. But it is between my two staking systems because I thought it would bush up there. But now I have to figure out how to get it up off the ground so it will grow better and it'll be easier to get the fruit. There is right up, let's see, yeah, right up there, that is so tall. That's almost a 6 foot tall in the air cane. Again, that one's supposed to be a bush. And I don't know, that's probably gonna need some support right there. So I have to figure that out, but it's staying very upright, so I'm very impressed by that one. Notice also there's the raspberry, the incredibly tall and bushy weed right next to it. Yeah, that weed is literally probably 5 feet tall. Yeah, so you know, and there are some other berries and bushes in here. These loganberries right here on my trellis system are doing beautifully, and I need to get in there and pick some. And then weeds, and this is yeah, just weeds, bad weeds, and clover. Mom was looking for something as ground cover when I was in China, and so she had the whole hill planted in clover. They just sprinkled a whole bunch of clover seeds, which are super invasive and keep coming back. They're also great for the soil, but they're not so good for trying to do anything else. Oh my gosh, look at these hardy geraniums. These are so gorgeous. And I think that's only 2 plants, maybe 3 in there, and I need to get in and get the weeds out so that the geraniums can take over, but the geraniums are doing a great job of holding back some of the weeds in this area, as you can see. And this is just a section between this log that we have here for a bench for when people play horseshoes, and the tarp, because it happens. This grape is one that Papa weed whacked 2-3 times last year, and it's growing slowly. It's not super happy right here, but it's not unhappy. So we'll see how it goes. And then, oh my gosh, the poor pear tree needs supported. I didn't realize quite how heavy with fruit it was, or would have picked off some of those flowers when it was going like this. The fruit just kind of snuck up on me. I really wasn't thinking about it because we haven't had a lot. Like last year on this fruit tree we had probably 5 or 6 pears, and we've got a lot more than that right now. So I'm just coming here. I'm going to insert some clips from the work I was doing yesterday on the hill, talking about some of the sections here, digging out. I didn't tell you about that. So I had to dig out all these plants from under the hay from the chickens. Oh my gosh. All right, so I have been up on the hill cutting blackberry vines and spreading some extra hay where the chickens have spread things out. As you can see, there's some really thin spots, so I need to add some more mulch because we are starting to get some weeds in this area, but it's still, oh my gosh, it's amazing. However, all of the weeds in the whole world decided to grow in like this clump and this clump, and then along the back fence, which is just needs a weed whacked. But yeah, so I'm up here trying to control some of this stuff that didn't get mulched with hay as heavily, or the chickens moved around. I didn't think this apple tree was producing anything this year, and look, they've got apples. That's exciting, but I need to get it unchoked because there are tons of weeds. So yeah, all of the weeds that did not grow in this section this year are definitely growing in this section. So I've got some cleaning up to do. It won't be too bad actually. I think a lot of it's just surface. And I think actually this yellow plant is something I planted. The bees love it. But I think it's one of the wildflower seeds that I spread, and it has just come up like crazy. And I actually think, oh sorry, that's my hand. Hi, look at my hand more. I actually think it's a nitrogen fixer, if I remember correctly. I don't remember what it's called, but they also had it at one of the small farm school sessions in an orchard that I went to. So I think that this isn't a terrible thing. It's just, I guess it's better than thistle. Let's just put it that way. So I gotta try and clean at least some of this out so the fruit trees can grow. Because over on the other side, where I put the cardboard and the hay, that is looking great, except where the chickens again have scratched that. And then I have my pear tree. I did not realize, let's see, it's over there. You can see it's got a couple branches that are just super heavy with fruit. Last year we had like 6 pears. This is only the tree's 3rd year. So apparently they need some supports. So I've got some work to do here on the hill. that's what I'm doing today, and I'm not filming because I've got way too much to do and I'm super sweaty and it's super humid and I'm just getting work done. But I thought I'd give you just like a quick look at what's going on here. If I find anything interesting, I will totally keep you updated. But yeah, like see, this poor little plant is being drowned by literally all the weeds in the world have decided to grow in this section. So I'm gonna get back to work. As you can see, I have my handy dandy assistants here trying to make sure I'm behaving myself. And I have cut 10 million blackberry vines already. So you keep working on that and I will see you later. And as you can see, actually, I'm going to be bringing in some more hay. The chickens have scattered a lot of the hay down to the bare dirt. And so we're gonna start getting more weeds as we are in this section. This section was never fully covered in hay. It was the section that I kind of left as a control, and plus I ran out of hay in the fall and didn't bring any more out in the spring when I was doing the other side of the hill. So this is really kind of what the whole hill used to look like. Yeah. And some of those, like the little yellow ones, I think I actually planted in some of the wildflower packs that I had, like just scattering seeds. Shoo, shoo, scatter, scatter. And yeah, that little yellow stuff is pretty gosh darn invasive. However, the Veronica, oh my gosh, I don't think, let's see. No, that's not Veronica, that's lupine. Oh my gosh, I love that. Look at how big that thing is. It's so pretty. Oh, and thank you, Margie, so much for telling me it was lupine. I don't know why I was thinking, oh, the leaves kind of look like the Veronica I planted out behind the parents' house. But yeah, thank you so much for telling me it was lupine because I love lupine and I totally didn't make the connection. Oh, apples. Look at, we have some apples. I'll show you that up a little closer in the video from yesterday. Yep, definitely gonna be a two-part video, just gonna happen. So I am going to let this hay, again, this is hay from 2 years ago now. So it's about 3 years old, I guess. I'm gonna let this kind of sit out here and weather just a smidgen because I have had really none of the grasses that I have growing in the garden growing down on this side of the hill because I think because I let the hay weather just a little more before I spread it out. So yes, as you can see, we have our guard. Here we go. I'm gonna turn you around now. Okay, definitely gonna be a two-part video, so I'm just gonna say thank you so much for joining me here on Hummingbird Hill. I really appreciate you taking a look. I talked super fast, I think, and I didn't cover everything, and there's so much more. But if you're interested in something or have questions, just let me know in the comments below and I can answer them, or I can do a whole video about certain sections. I'm not really sure what people are interested in seeing, so I'm just kind of, you know, sharing everything mostly that's out in the garden at least. So if you are interested in knowing more about projects or something that I'm doing, or like, hey wait, you didn't tell us about that, let me know and then I'll talk about it, because then I don't have to think so much because you're telling me what you want. I don't mind thinking anyway. I do it all the time. Can't really stop. It just happens. So with that said, thank you so much for joining me here on Hummingbird Hill. Part 2 in the garden will be posted as soon as this one loads, and then it takes another 6 or so hours for the next section of the video to load, because yes, that's my internet life. Yeah, but at least I've got it fixed so it doesn't take 4 days for it to load. In any case, I hope that you enjoyed taking a look at the hill and the projects going on behind the upper house, and I will see you in the garden in just a few minutes. Bye! Just a chicken chilling with Papa. That's what happens. We're taking a break on the hill while we're waiting for the hay delivery. There we go.